Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Good morning, how do you do? Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. And you and you and you and you and you and you and you.
Welcome to my learning circle. I'm Miss Connie and I'm so glad that you're here with me today so that we can learn more about our comparing words. We're working on learning about our comparing words, our words that help us describe one thing against another thing. When we compare them, we look at them together to see what's the same and what's different. And then when we know our comparing words, we can talk about it. So before we learn a new comparing word together today, let's get our wiggles out. Show me your wiggling fingers. Oh, very good. And now shake your arms and roll your neck. And now we're ready to begin. Today we are going to be learning about our comparing word, small. This is our word small. Can you say that with me? This is the word small. Very good. I'm going to put it on our board so we can focus on it and learn a little bit more about our word small together. Now, our word small is the opposite of big. Opposite is a fancy word that we can use to say that something is not big, it's small. So let's see, what does small mean though? Small is big means that it takes up more space. If something's not big, that means it takes up very little space. Can you say that with me? When something's small, it takes up very little space. Here we go. When something's small, it takes up very little space. Very good. So let's look at my hands again. We have this hand. When I stretch it out, it's big because it takes up a lot of space, right? And this hand, when I keep it closed like this, it's small. It's small. This hand is smaller than this hand because it doesn't take up a lot of space. It takes up very little space compared to this hand that's taking up a lot of space. Now, let's see if we can think about some things that are small. What can you think of that takes up very little space? Very good, an ant. An ant is very small. It takes up very little space. What else can you think of that's small? A cricket. A cricket is small and it takes up very little space. A cricket or a grasshopper. What else can you think of that's small? Oh, sand. Little grains of sand, they're super duper small. Very good. All of those things are small because they take up very little space, right? Very good. And our word small is the opposite of our word big. Very good. That's because big means that it takes up a lot of space. And small isn't big because it takes up very little space. They're the opposite of each other. All right, we've used our ears to listen and think about our word small and how to compare things with our word small. Let's get ready to use our eyes to look at our word small and some things around us that are small and see if we can learn more about our concept of small. All right, now our word small, we can spell it like this. S-M-A-L-L. Can you spell it with me? Here we go. S-M-A-L-L. Very good. And what does that spell? Small. Very good. And when something is small, it means that it takes up very little space. Very good. Very good. Okay, let's look at a couple of toys I have with me today and see if we can describe them and compare them against each other so that we can talk about our concept of small some more, okay? All right, first, I have two balls. I have our ball here of our Earth, and I've had this cool little rainbow ball over here. Which one is small? Which one takes up less space? If you said my rainbow ball, you are correct. Now look at this. I want you to look and see what happens when I put my big Earth ball in front of my little rainbow ball. Can you see it? No, that's because my little rainbow ball can fit all the way behind my big Earth ball. That means my big Earth ball is taking up more space. Now, let's switch it and put my little rainbow ball in front of my big Earth ball. Can you still see my big Earth ball behind my little rainbow ball? Yes, you can. That's because our little rainbow ball is small. It's taking up less space. It's not big enough to hide our big Earth ball because it's not as big as our Earth ball. It is smaller than our Earth ball. Very good. All right, one more toy. Here we go. I have two Blaze and the Monster Machine cars here. I have this one and I have this one. Is this one bigger or is this one bigger? This one's bigger, and that means what about this one? That means this one's smaller. Very good. And let's do the same thing we did with our balls. Let's look at our little small Blaze car behind our big Blaze Monster Machine. Can you see the small one behind the big one? No, you can't. That's because the big one takes up more space and blocks you from being able to see the other one. Now let's switch it. Can you see the big Blaze Monster Machine behind the small little Blaze Monster Machine? Yes, you can. That's because our small Blaze Monster Machine doesn't take up enough space to block out the big one. It is smaller than the other Blaze in the Monster Machine. Very good. All right. Now let's see if we can draw some pictures to help us look at and think about small and taking up less space. Okay? Let's see. We'll use our red marker since we were just talking about our Blaze in the Monster Machine. Now we talked about our little ant, right? Our small ant. So I'm going to draw our small ant up here. And let's see, what can we draw with our small ant? Let's do an elephant. And give him his little tail. Now, which is small? My ant or my elephant? Which is taking up, what do we say? Less space, right? which is taking up less space. The ant, very good, because look at this. Our ant only takes up this much space. But look, our elephant takes up this much space. That means our ant is smaller than our elephant. Very good. Now, let's see, what else can we do? Oh, I have an idea. Let's do an airplane up here. Okay, now, we said that my elephant is not small when we are comparing it to the ant, right? The ant is small and the elephant is big when we compare these two to each other, right? Is my ant smaller or bigger than our airplane? That's right, our ant is still small because it takes up less space than our airplane up here. Now, what about our elephant? Our elephant, we said, was big when we compared it to our ant. Is our elephant small or big when we compare it to the airplane? Very good. If you said the elephant is small when we compare it to the airplane, you're correct, because let's look at this. Look, our airplane takes up all of this space, and our elephant only takes up this much space. So our elephant is big when we compare it to the ant, but our elephant is small when we compare it to the airplane, because we have to look at how much space something is taking up in order to know if it is bigger or smaller than something. So our ant is smaller than our elephant, and our elephant is smaller than our airplane. Very good. Now, we have learned so much about our word small and the concept of small, and that it takes up less space, right? So I think that you can help me find our small shape over here. Are you ready? Okay, let's see. Is this one small? No, it's not small when we look at it compared to these other two. It's big. Is this one smaller than this one? Well, let's look and see if it takes up less space. Watch. Look at that. Our middle square can fit inside of our big bottom square. And we can still see our big bottom square behind it. That means that this square is smaller than our big square. But is it the smallest square that we have on our board? No, it's not, is it? We still have a square up here, and look at this. When we take this one and compare it by putting it on top of the other two, I can still see the other square behind it. That means it's taking up less space than this square. That means it is our smallest square. Very good. You helped me find our smallest square. Awesome job. Thank you so much for coming and learning more about our comparing words with me today and about our concept of small. We learned that when we call something small, we are saying that it takes up less space, right? And our word small is the opposite of big, because our word big means it takes up more space, and our word small means it takes up less space. They're the opposite of each other. They mean two different things. And you helped us think about all of the different small things that we know all around us, and you helped us look at our drawings on the board and see that our ant is smaller than our elephant, but our elephant is smaller than our airplane. And you help me find our small square over there. Awesome job. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.